Hey guys, it's your boy Roy, and this is Hades' Realm. And we're just gonna run past everything because I'm done with this game, at least by this point. I'm really scared when going into this fight because everyone that's ever done this run knows that over here we're gonna be dealing with the satyrs, or satyr, or satyr, whatever you want to call them. And we need to kill a fuckload of them. I think it's 11. And I'm going to use the exploit. I tried to do it legit, and I managed to got quite far actually. I think I got like 8 down, but eventually you're just going to fuck up, just like I did in my no upgrade run. Thankfully I was allowed to use magic over there, which made it a bit more manageable, but this fight, man, when you get the loop down, it is really fun. But it's still really tense. Basically what the loop is you're gonna have to fight two satyr, whatever we're gonna call them, the horse dudes. Yeah, are they horse? Nah, they're not really horse dudes. They're goat things. Yeah. We're gonna have to fight two at the same time, and the general strategy that I'm going to use, and that is pretty popular in a pain run, is I'm going to abuse a chest, and I'm going to get one of them stuck behind it. Why am I jumping like that? I'm going to get one of them stuck behind it, and then just solo the other one, because you can infinite them with the slam dunk. Slam dunk! I keep saying that because it's Devil May Cry 4 quote, and I always really like that quote, where Nero just grabs the enemy, just slam dunk, and pounds him into the pavement. Oh, that's good. Sorry. This engagement over here is more about focusing on who you're going to grab and who you're going to throw. Because you can... I'm not sure if I get it in this attempt, but if you... Okay, there we go. Get the restart because there's a checkpoint. Grab him. Throw them. Okay, I fuck it up. But what you can do is, if you position yourself correctly and you grab that first guy and you throw him, you can actually throw the Minotaur off the edge that way, which is an easy kill. But I think I'm saving him now because I want the health. Could be. This is actually a pretty intense engagement, especially for people who are more reliant on magic and all that jazz to get through tougher fights. The ones who haven't practiced or don't know the enemy patterns and stuff like that. And because this is a pretty long fight, I think it has 1, 2, 3. It has 4 rooms, quote unquote. And there's no checkpoint in between, so if you die you have to redo the entire thing. But it's still really generous with health drops and stuff like that, so somehow, somewhere I still want to like do a, I don't know, like a very hard run, or just a normal run in God of War 1, like this game, using that super strong armor, and then just upgrade to the max and just go to town on this game. I really wonder what that's like. I think I will die more than I will during no upgrade run or during a pain run, because then you're playing careful and like really paying attention, playing perfectly, doing the optimal punishes. Otherwise I'll just be fucking around and I'll probably die horribly. One thing I am noticing, there's 2 things I want to talk about. I'm gonna try and remember which ones they are. One of them is what I'm doing with this channel and the commentary and stuff. Like this video I recorded like 1 or 2 months ago. I don't even know, but it's been a while, and commentary for me takes a lot of time. I want to edit it, I want to get everything in, and then I need to do a commentary. I need to be in the mood for a commentary that I can at least talk for a while. So I'm still figuring out like what am I going to do with this channel when it comes down to commentary or not. I experimented a bit with this with the Yakuza videos, which sort of worked. Like I sometimes post commentary in it to sort of explain like a fight that was giving me trouble, or put little text messages in, like to sort of say like, hey, this is what I'm doing right now, this is what I'm thinking. So yeah, I think it's going to be a playthrough by playthrough basis. The next run that I'm going to upload is Devil's Third on hardcore difficulty, and I'm really considering just not doing a voiceover, because I don't really have a lot to say about that game. I think that's also it. And I want to do some other type of uploads and runs. So yeah, it depends on how it's all gonna go. The other thing that I want to talk about is just a small discussion I keep having on GameFAQs, and It's one that's been bothering me more and more. It's mostly on the Neo boards. Like, people are bitching and complaining all the time about, oh, this game's too difficult, oh, difficulty curve, blah, blah, blah. I get hit and everything kills me in one hit because I'm on the hardest difficulty setting. And I'm like, dude, stop relying on your stats and man up. I made one argument to just say, okay, if you die in one hit, there's your problem. You're getting hit. Don't get hit. And that's not an argument. That's not good game design. Brr, 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 brr. And I try to be polite because I don't want to be that guy that I'm certain some people are and love to be. And sometimes, it's tempting. But it can get really tiring to sort of see like this genre of video games spiral downwards to, okay, I can either learn the pattern of the boss, or I'm not going to learn the pattern. I'm just going to brute force my way through using all these stat upgrades and whatnot, and this build. Like, the two most prevalent builds in Neo are kunai and living weapon. Kunai build basically means you just chuck kunai from a distance to deal massive damage, and it's basically a runaway game. So it basically means there's no combat. You just spam one button. One player I hold in high regard had a kunai build, and he had to force himself not to use it as much because he did not know any of the game's patterns. He just stood at this, dead. Everything's dead. So that's one, and the other one is living weapon, which basically makes you immortal and allows you to do massive damage. It's a critical living weapon build for those that are interested. It means that you're at low health, and living weapon replaces your health bar with an energy bar that drains every time you hit and every time you get hit, basically. So if you don't get hit, and even then, it only drains a little bit if you're built correctly. So like the latest DLC added the Abyss, which is sort of the Bloody Palace from Devil May Cry with a few twists, and it has 999 floors, and each floor has a boss and 4 optional randomized rooms that make the boss easier, because the boss has 4 buffs or 4 debuffs for you depending on which floor you're on, and beating one of the rooms removes one of the debuffs. I'm on floor 30 right now, because you need to beat the highest difficulty setting, which I haven't yet, to unlock the rest of the floors, 31 to 999. It took like a day and a half after launch for someone to beat all the floors. And when asked about his build, yeah, just that one. I'm not really good at the game. I just spammed the one button. And then, like, you don't learn the mechanics. You don't really enjoy the game. I really feel that it's sort of a detriment. Like, on the one side, like, I'm writing an article for Stinger right now on stats in video games, action games mostly. And the one thing it does bring to the table is more casual audiences can just brute force their way through, which can be seen as a plus side and a downside. Plus side, more people get to experience the game. Downside, well, it ruins the game for a lot of people. I still think Ninja Gaiden did it best with the Ninja Dog difficulty. This area was actually pretty hard because it was really difficult to get up there without getting hit because there's 3 archers there. Like, it added Ninja Dog difficulty in Ninja Gaiden Black, and what it did, it gave you a ribbon that made you a lot stronger, gave you an auto combo if I remember correctly, and you had to wear a pink ribbon the whole time, sort of to instigate like, oh, you're a loser. And even then the game was still a challenge, but you could just square mash your way to victory to an extent. Here we have the infamous fight, so I'm gonna try and get them, like, you gotta sort of redirect it. Get them in, and yeah, there we go. Okay, now I need to get over here, and that's it. Fight 1, basically. Now it's just waiting for an opening, get that in, slam dunk, whoop, slam dunk, STs, and I fuck it up. It's basically just square triangle and then slam dunk. Is it gonna, are we gonna show it? Obviously. Wow, really? But yeah, it is something that's bothering me, especially because of the comment I ended my last video on, like, do I want Ninja Gaiden 4, Devil May Cry 5 and stuff, and then I said, no, not right now. That's mostly because of that, because players want to brute force their way through. They don't want to learn mechanics. One of the biggest complaints about Neo right now is there's a hidden boss, sort of, After you beat the entire game, there's a new mission that opens up, the Master Ninja, in which you have to beat Jin Hayabusa, who's a great grandfather of Ryu. And that's a great little Easter egg. I love that. But he's tough. Like, he's not only one of the fastest bosses around, but he also hits the hardest. So he's really like this ultimate enemy. And people are complaining, oh, I'm using a tank build, I wield an axe, I'm a slow character, so I don't stand a chance. This game is lame. Like, people constantly want to be rewarded for their special snowflake build. Just be prepared for any situation. Despite not having stats, a game like Ninja Gaiden did prepare you better. Like, you had an axe, you had a sword, you had a nunchucks, eventually you had the lunar, you also had some bracelets. Like, there was enough choice and things constantly at your availability to allow you to deal with every situation. While in this game, because there's so many builds and so many possibilities, Team Ninja just doesn't know how to balance it, because you can't. So instead you just make a boss and just, okay, the players will figure it out somehow. Which I can't blame them for, to be honest. Oh, man. And this is actually, like, once you've done this fight, by the way, in the pain run, you've pretty much won it. The final boss is difficult if you don't know his patterns. There's a couple of things that you really need to get down. And it is a endurance test to the max that we will talk about in the next video. But this really is that last real engagement that makes you go like, oh shit, come on, don't get stuck here. I'm so close, don't want to give up now. I do like that. I also really like that these enemies have a different design because you're in the realm of Hades. It's a really fun little nod. It couldn't have taken too much programming and artistic work, but it's still like something you don't see in a lot of games. Like, okay, here's a new area, here you have the same enemy type, but looking slightly different because you're in a different area. It's not a lot of games that do that. Souls does it somehow, sort of, yeah, sometimes. Like, but it more grabs a new enemy, like every location. So there's that. I do have to admit the latest Neo DLC is really fun. The Abyss mode is pretty addictive. New difficulty is fun, and you can dress up as Ryu now, so hey, I'm not complaining. I basically got my new Ninja Gaiden game, except freaking stamina bar. Like, if I could disable that somehow. Like, I built my character in a way that I don't really have to worry about it, but still an issue. That being said, yeah, what am I going to record after this? I'm thinking about, because I bought the Japanese release of Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. I'm thinking about playing that one, just with live commentary, and do a very hard no upgrade run. I haven't done that in a long time, and then slowly start working back into getting Way of the Blade finished. Like, that's a run I've been working on for years and never managed to finish. So there's that. Other than that, well, this is it. This is basically the fight. I'm gonna quit the voiceover now and just fast forward it, because this is just gonna be the same nonsense. It's just gonna be me spamming it. So guys, I hope you have a good day, good evening, and good night, and take care, and I'll see you next time on the last God of War Pain Run video with extraordinary commentary extravaganza! See you later.
Kratos, and not a moment too soon. I only finished digging just a moment ago.
Who are you?
Now that is an interesting question. For now, you must hurry. Athens needs you.
But how did you know I would?
Athena isn't the only god keeping watch on you, Spartan. Complete your task